Hey, Sonic!
Hey, Tails.
Hey, Sonic!
What, Tails?
How many squirrels does it take to change a light bulb?
I don't know, Tails.
0! They make the fox and the hedgehog do it.
It's not very funny, Tails. Let's get to work.
On the table, we are looking at Sonic Boom toys today. We have the Blue Force 1 vehicle with Sonic. We also have Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles in Spacesuits pack. And then there's another Sonic in Spacesuit with Parallel Universe Villain. I wonder what his name is, Dr. Cantaloupe Man? And Barry, what's with the helmet you have there?
I found it, it's mine, and I'm in space now.
Okay then. Let's start out with this Sonic Boom, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles in Spacesuit pack. I have been eyeing this one forever. What's not to love about Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles in spacesuits? Now, I've only really seen Knuckles in a spacesuit before. There was that one episode where he went up into the stars and broke that asteroid into pieces. Or was that a meteor? Rock. Dusty rock. I don't remember seeing Sonic and Tails in suits yet, but I've probably only seen about 1/3 of the Sonic Boom episodes. Not too much going on the back of this box. Looks like we have articulated figures and maybe some cardboard cards to collect. If you're a fan of the fine print, look no further than the bottom of the box. Lots of fine reading there. Of course, nothing is more exciting than the top of the box, in which you can see down into the box. And down into the box is what we see, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. Let's get these guys out. Okay, out of the box, Tails, Sonic, Knuckles in their spacesuits. Each spacesuit representing the color of the character's fur. Tails in yellow gold, Sonic in blue, of course, and Knuckles in red. Sonic's spacesuit is probably the most complicated to ever build, having to contain all those hedgehog spines on the back of his head. Not to mention poking through and causing an air leakage issue. And would they still be as sharp in space? Or would he be hitting the bad guys with a thud?
Oh, I'd be hitting the bad guys hard, I can tell you that.
Good to hear, Sonic. As for Tails, also a bit of a challenge, containing those tails, double tails in a spacesuit. You think they would just kind of tuck up in the back of your back, instead of placing your tail in its own little protective space sock. Do they rotate? I wonder. I think so. It's kind of scary hard to tell. You never know with Tomy toys. They take some weird shortcuts. I really like the shiny yellow gold paint on Tails' spacesuit. As for Knuckles, the only character I've actually seen in a spacesuit on the show, his spacesuit looking the most economical, overall durable, stylistically reasonable, and your normal strongman Knuckles look. As for articulation on these figures, it's pretty much the same, I believe, with your regular action figures. You've got arms that you can move around with a little bit of hinge in there, and legs on hips. I don't see anything on the waist. And, well, rotating the head's not going to happen. As for removing the mask, looks like it's glued on pretty tight. But it's kind of neat though, it's 3D, you can see inside and see Sonic's head in there. Curious to how they really placed a normal Sonic head in there, if they cut it apart a little bit to fit in there. Kind of interesting. Knuckles, the same type of articulation going. Nothing in the wrists really, just those arms and legs. And with Tomy, you gotta be a little bit careful. These legs and arms get loose a little bit over time. So you don't want to kind of over-articulate them or they might just start falling over on you. As with the extras with these, we have these little foil shiny cards, which I think we saw similar with the shiny figures. There would be that Sonic. And you can see these spacesuit figures are pretty much scaled right to the action figures, just protected a little more from the elements. There would be Tails' card, and Knuckles. So there are the 3 spacey suited figures. If you're interested in what's out there and want Sonic involved, These three figures are a perfect match. Now, to confuse you a little bit, and how Tomy always confuses me, we also have some other alternatives to picking up these spacesuits. Here's a Sonic and Parallel Universe villain pack. It's looking like pretty much the same Sonic figure. I'm wondering if it's not in metallic though. And of course the Parallel Universe villain, Dr. Eggman in green. And then there is the Knuckles in Spacesuit pack with Crabmeat villain. And yes, Knuckles' spacesuit does not appear to be as shiny in this pack. So if you want the more metallic-y painted spacesuits, look for that 3-pack, and obviously the reason I really liked the 3-pack was it had tails. Oh, okay, well let's check out Sonic real quick in this one and see if he's metallic or not. So sure enough, this Sonic in the spacesuit single pack with Dr. Eggman is not in metallic paint, and it's not just limited to the blue, the white is also matte. So if you're looking for a spacesuit that looks a little more rough and not as shiny, that's the pack to look for. And of course then you get another Dr. Eggman Parallel Universe in green, which is very weird. And tippy. It's interesting. So it looks like even inside the spacesuit, regular Sonic is painted with a regular matte blue paint, and in the metallic spacesuit, even Sonic's head inside is metallic. So that's kind of a cool little extra that they went to. To save some time of just boring repeatedness, I think I'll just leave Knuckles and Crabmeat inside the box there. I already have a Crabmeat somewhere around the room, and I think I like the metallics a little bit better, so I'll work with that Knuckles. Let's move on to Blue Force 1.
A little help helping a parallel universe villain up.
Ah, there's Blue Force 1. So it's a little tricky figuring out Tomy's release schedule. I believe Blue Force 1 has been on the shelf pretty much for most of 2017 on and off. I think I first saw it on shelves at Toys R Us midsummer, and then the very next day it was on clearance, which made very little sense. Whereas I've yet to see the spacesuited figures at Toys R Us. I've seen them only on Amazon.com so far, but I would imagine they've been out on shelf too. Again, it's always a little tricky figuring out when and where Tomy stuff appears. They're not really the best stocked toy around. Anyhow, looking back at Blue Force 1, Sonic's main vehicle for driving around in Sonic Boom, I think first appearing in Season 2 though, right? I saw it in the first episode and I have yet to really see it fly around in the show. Need to watch more. Speedy looking cabin motorcycle though, and a pretty good looking toy too so far. I see lots of different colors, lots of well designed panels and tubes and rods and cones, and a pretty spiffy Sonic figure too with the racing shades. On the back of the box, this is a 3-in-1 transformation vehicle if you didn't know that. We have Blue Force 1 just as a motorcycle, but then it quickly transforms up into a flyer. And then we have a mid-transformation where I think it just does some pretty cool cookies. Looks like we have other figures available. Ooh, is that Sonic or Shadow in that black spacesuit? And then there's Tails in a black spacesuit as well. Going to have to keep my eye out for those. I think we've already checked out on that Eggman set though with Sonic on his flyer board. That one was pretty fun. And of course, if you want fine print, you know where to go on the bottom of the package. Alright, let's get this out, zip it about. Should be pretty easy to remove open box package design on this one. Less flanges to worry about, right? And there we go, Blue Force 1 outside of the package. I'm so far really impressed with this vehicle. Some of the other Sonic Boom vehicles have looked a little bit plain. Thinking about Tails' plain. Although I kind of wish I picked that one up. But now this vehicle just feels good. It's metallic, it has a lot of different levels to it, and of course, it's rolly. So let's get Sonic inside. Pretty much the same Sonic figure we have seen before, only wearing riding, driving specs. And Sonic sits inside pretty easily. This is the one time where the Sonic hands really can grab onto those handlebars pretty well and sit comfortably. Alright, good looking vehicle so far. Pretty good on the roll. Feels like we have a little bit of a rubberness to the tires too, so that'll give it some grip on any good surface. Probably could give this a good huck across the room, but you might do some tipping because it is pretty narrow. Nice little windscreen on the front, rear view mirrors on the side, fins going everywhere. And I like this feature up here. These fins on the back here kind of flip and fold out. That's a really nice touch that you usually don't see implemented in toys these days. So far, I don't see too much else in that department, but very fun. Let's now transform it into its flyer mode. I believe it shouldn't be too hard. We're just gonna pull these wings out. Rotate this like so, and we now have a hover vehicle. So Sonic can get anywhere he can't run. That feels very much like something we saw in the 80s with maybe the Mask toys. I think there was a Mask motorcycle that flew around, and I'm probably really dating myself right now. Anyhow, look at that flyer. That is pretty spectacular. Pretty fun. And I guess now, if you want to kind of get it into the halfway mode, we're going to rotate this down. I think you're going to want to rotate these a little bit more. Although it feels like they only click in either straight or out. Oh, there we go. We're gonna rotate this time. Rotate down. Okay, there we go. And now Sonic can do cookies on Dr. Eggman's lawn all day long. Sort of. It's not really a roly cookie thing. Maybe these are like jets for like fast mode or something across the plains of stuff. Feels like they're reaching a little bit on that as a third mode, but still kind of interesting. Now if we could just get it back to regular mode. Uh-oh. There's actually quite a bit of different modes to this too. This is kind of like the golf cart mode. So it looks like you could probably put this into the 3, 4, 5-in-1 transformation vehicle by just moving those wheels around in any which way you'd like to try. That's fun. I like this vehicle. Very worth the buck to give Sonic a ride around town. What's this? A Pac-Man mashem? Oh, that's right, my quest to continue to collect the whole collection of Pac-Man mashems. So far, I've found them all except for the orange Clyde. Will today be the day, finally? It's Clyde! And he has a defect! Can you believe this twist to the story? I sure can't. We have finally found the orange Clyde, but he has a significant eye defect. What is going on here? I can't believe this. His on-screen left lower eye has a huge chunk of paint removed from it, and his right on-screen eye has a chunk of paint in the blue. Oh, you can't make up this drama. This is incredible. What does this mean? Does this mean I have to continue looking for more orange Clydes, or am I just going to accept this and move on? This is something I never thought to happen. Well, I tell you what I tell you, I still have about 5 more Pac-Man mashems to open. So we will continue the quest and see what we can find. Perhaps we can find a undamaged orange ghost and do this right. Unbelievable. And there we have it, some interesting Sonic Boom toys to look out for and are about and around. Again, it's pretty difficult to suggest where to find these. Toys R Us usually has a somewhat limited supply. Amazon.com also a good place to check for. Find these sets if you're all into the Sonic Boom.
It's Sonic Boom, not the Sonic Boom.
Oh, that's right. Sonic Boom.
Should have been called the All Knuckles Show.
Sonic Boom toys appear on store shelves 2017. Blue Force 1 runs about $15. Your Spacesuit 3-pack around $15-20. Your Spacesuit Sonic Parallel Eggman and Knuckles and Crabmeat, they run about 10-15. Keep an eye out if you are into the Sonic Boom world. However, if you're looking for more background Sonic Boom characters and ideas, keep looking. That's what I have to say about that.
A Sonic Squirrel Boom is a factor of 10 above a Sonic Boom. Thanks for watching Squirrel Stampede. Please like, share, subscribe.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Space, the final frontier. Woo!